Welcome, everybody. This is episode 2 of Point Being. Hope you enjoy some thoughts I've jotted down for today. Even as Joe Biden runs for president in the midst of a pandemic at an age when he should be running for literally nothing anymore because it's hard and he'd end up winded and confused. He should be running for nothing unless it's the newspaper man who regularly threw the Sunday New York Times into his azalea bushes and he decided he had to run after him to finally lay down the law. Anyway, point being, Joe Biden he's got a million things to do. He's doing 900 things that a man at his age shouldn't be doing right now. And yet he still finds the time to tweet out garbage nonsense endorsing US-backed coups under the hilarious false motivation that he's standing up for human rights. We need to care about human rights. Who is he kidding? Does anyone in this fucking ridiculous country still think our government does anything to defend human rights? Please, I beg of you, someone, tell me the last time you believe the U.S. went to war or laid down economic sanctions for human rights. Oh, yes, I forgot. Vietnam. We did that for human rights, didn't we? Kids have a right to be napalmed, don't they? It's called freedom. Look, even if you're a dude who loves the United States at every level, you just think it's awesome, it's amazing, it's peaches and cream. Even if, by the way, quick question, is peaches and cream a sexual expression? I mean, I know you could make peaches and cream sexual. You could easily smother someone in peaches and cream, etc., etc. Don't need to go into the details. But when you say something is peaches and cream in general, are you basically saying it's like a cum shot or something? Because if so, if it's always sexual, I feel like I've been a little cavalier with that expression. I feel like I've overdone it. What I'm trying to say is I'll stop saying Wheel of Fortune is peaches and cream because I am not turned on by Pat Sajak. Vanna White, on the other hand, although isn't she like 90 years old now? So those are some old peaches. Point being, even if you just love everything America does, you just love it, even you can't claim we destroy and invade or intervene in these countries because of human rights. Can you? Like, do those people exist? Do you honestly believe that shit? If you do, you are possibly the most gullible human being on earth. If you believe that, then you probably also believe, yellow ribbons really do help the troops, and the Real Housewives of Poppycock never flip over tables just because they know it'll make for good television, and the police just pull over black people just to make sure everybody's being safe, having a good evening, kids. No, it's all garbage lies. The yellow ribbons mean and do nothing. Reality TV is so fake it belongs in Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, and 90% of police are racist fucks, and they know it. Or they're racist fucks and don't realize it. Some of them don't realize it. Tough to say which is worse, being racist and knowing it, or being part of a racist system and not knowing it. Because the second one involves having a frontal lobe made out of Nerf. Does Nerf, is that still a thing? Is that when I was a kid, Nerf was big. Nerf was everywhere. It was going to take us to the moon. It was a way for 10-year-olds to play sports without ending up with traumatic brain injuries. Like around the 1980s, even though American dads still had the toxic masculinity vibe of my son's going to be tough, he's going to be rugged like old leather or mattresses at Motel 6, but they started to realize, even within that, they didn't want a kid who ate crayons because he was hit very hard on the field. So Nerf came along and said, hey, dads, you can throw this thing at your kid as hard as you fucking want, and he'll still be able to operate heavy machinery one day. But I haven't heard much about Nerf recently. Hope they're okay. Hope they're hanging in there. Hope they didn't get put out of business by virtual reality video games. Hey, kids, why throw soft footballs at each other when you can beat a hooker to death in Grand Theft Auto? It's tough to beat that sales pitch. Really is. And you wonder why this world is circling the drain. Huh? Point being, America, the American ruling elite only say they give a shit about human rights when they want to overthrow a government for some other reason. Bolivia, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Iraq, Syria, Iran, Afghanistan, Libya, etc., etc. Oh, and etc. We want these countries crushed for a combination of power, resources, to make sure there isn't any socialism being secretly practiced behind closed doors. You know, what's going on in there? It's not socialism, is it? You're giving people health care in there, are you? You open this door. You are giving the proceeds from your natural resources to the people instead of the oligarchy, are you? You open this goddamn door. Our ruling elite have no empathy for the people we crush in these countries, which is why, and I've said this before, we need a sociopath test. For anybody running for office, anybody running a company, a goddamn sociopath test. And we could do it. We have this brain science now. Donald Trump would have failed with flying fucking colors. He would have set records. He would have been very proud of that record. Biden would fail a sociopath test. Pence would fail. Mitch McConnell wouldn't even sign his name correctly. Nancy Pelosi would score lower than a pile of fungus growing on a tree stump. And think of other countries too. Trudeau would fail. Boris Johnson would probably stick to Pence, so they gave him to do the test up his butt. And Macron would have the guy administering the test assassinated. We need a sociopath test, and we need it now if we're going to get through this. Estimates are that 1 out of every 100 people are sociopaths. And unfortunately, and here's the thing, they run everything. They don't just go live on an island somewhere and alone treating each other like shit. They come here to our world of normal human people. And they run it. They're in charge. Our system of capitalism rewards being a sociopath. That's who gets to the top, who wins, who runs the businesses, who directs the shows, who reads the news to you from your nightly newscast. We came to a fork in the road, and we took the sociopath. All right, guys, I hope you liked this episode of Point Being. To get more, please sign up for the free email list at leadcamp.com. And check back every day. Keep fighting.